Thank you for joining us tonight. You're now with me, Shal Shaminato, for TVS Nightline. We begin with the headlining stories. Now, not only the people, our leaders will also be compounded for violating Standard Operating Procedures, or SOPs. Surau Deputy Chief Minister Dato' Amar Awang Tengah Ali Hassan admits that it was his fault for not wearing a face mask during his visit to Matu. He said he had been contacted by the police over the matter when a viral video clip which surfaced on social media.
Saya selalunya gerai-gerai itu cuma beroperasi untuk minggu. Saya pergilah ke gerai-gerai dan saya beli barang-barang, lepas itu saya minum dan makanlah kuih-kuih itu. Tapi silap saya tidak. Setelah saya diberitahu oleh pegawai saya, Datuk Kapten dah beritahu kita jangan lambat, we have to leave now. Jadi saya tak perasan sambil berjalan itu, saya lupa mas saya ini buka dan saya pun mau cepat.
In this new normal, iftar gatherings, more or sahur ceremonies are prohibited in mosques or surau. The matter was confirmed by Assistant Minister in the Chief Minister's Office of Islamic Affairs, or DBKU, Dr. Abdul Rahman Junaidi.
The Standard Operating Procedures (SOPs) were stipulated by the Sarawak Islamic Council (MIS) in the effort to curb the spread of COVID-19.
Tambahan kepada koresponden yang sedia ada ialah tidak membenarkan diadakan jamuan makanan sama ada berbuka puasa ataupun moreh ataupun sahur. Kalau mereka hendak menyediakan makanan terutamanya untuk jawatankuasa pengurusan masjid boleh, tapi menggunakan bungkus dan mana tidak dibenarkan mengadakan jamuan secara beramai-ramai di masjid.
While sunat tarawih and witir prayer activities are permitted, the maximum number of people allowed are 200 worshippers, or half of the actual capacity of the mosque or surau. The mosque operating hour will start at 4 a.m. and close at around 10:30 p.m. to give way to the Tadarus Council. Commenting further on the cancellations of DBKU's Bazaar Ramadan, there will be no prohibition for traders to sell their delicacies in residential areas.
Mengikut koresponden telah pun dikeluarkan oleh pihak SDMC, iaitu separuh daripada jumlah kapasiti Masjid Surau ataupun maksimanya dalam 200 orang. Tapi yang pentingnya kita minta supaya pihak Jawatankuasa Pengurusan Masjid dan Surau menyediakan tempat khas untuk sejadah-sejadah yang disusun, tidak kurang pada 1 meter jaraknya. Dan hari ini kita telah cadangkan satu cara yang baru, iaitu kita memberi nombor pada setiap sejadah yang ada, supaya apabila jemaah datang mereka diberi nombor dan mereka berada di tempat nombor sejadah yang ada.
Meanwhile, Miri City Council also made the decision to cancel this year's Ramadan Bazaars. The council mayor Adam Yee Siu Sang said the COVID-19 infections in Sarawak were at a worrying level.
The condition is still quite bad, and we think if this Bazaar Ramadan is to proceed, it may lead to further spreading of this COVID-19.
Adam Yee recommended that traders utilize the online selling platform e-Bazaar.
It is also to help people to continue with the normal practice of the Ramadan. So to continue that, we encourage people to move to this what we call the e-Bazaar. E-Bazaar is like a Grab Food and Food Panda, for home delivery. This was already in practice last year and was very successful.
And the same decisions were made by Sibu District following the cancellation of Ramadan Bazaars in Kuching. Taking into account safety factors, the Sibu Municipal Council decided to cancel the Ramadan Bazaar planned earlier at Dataran Tun Tuanku Haji Bujang Phase 2. Sibu Municipal Council Deputy Chairman Bujang Abdul Majid said that the measure was taken following the increasing cases of COVID-19 in the area.
Menangkan kalau biasanya, kalau Bazar Ramadan diadakan, pelanggan ataupun pengunjung akan datang berpusu-pusu. Oleh kerana demikian, menyebabkan distancing, penjaraan dan juga pergaulan susah dikawal.
However, the Ramadan Bazaar at Pelangi Food Kiosk in Kampung Nangka and Bandung Walk will continue. This is because that these two business areas operate on normal days with high compliance of SOPs among the visitors and traders. As for the residents, they described the move as reasonable in curbing the spread of COVID-19.
Jadi saya rasa tindakan yang terbaik ialah kita batalkan dulu. Kalau keadaan sudah reda, baru boleh ditimbangkan lah. Ya.
Alhamdulillah lah, kalau tutup takut kluster nanti bertambah kluster bazar Ramadan lagi apa semua.
Better tutup daripada pembukaan disebabkan penyakit kini tu makin meningkat dari hari ke hari.
On the other hand, the Bako Terminal Expansion Project prioritizes safety features aside from providing comfort to visitors and gives benefits to the local residents. Minister of Transport Sarawak, Datuk Lee Kim Shin, said this project will increase the number of visitors, hence local residents will have the opportunity to increase their income by diversifying their products.
Ini adalah satu projek yang memanglah sangat penting dan berfaedah kepada para pengusaha bot di sinilah, kerana mereka adalah terlibat juga dalam lancongan. Bot-bot yang ada di sini memanglah khas kebanyakannya untuk membuat pelancong-pelancong.
All boat operators in the region must be registered under the Sarawak River Board and owned a boat license and gain exposure in certain courses. According to Kuching Region 1 Assistant Controller Julaihi Shamat, as an enforcement agency, the Sarawak River Board will ensure safety as well as complying with the stipulated standard operating procedures.
Dengan adanya sistem terminal yang baru ini, lembaga sungai akan berusaha untuk memastikan fasilitis kita berada di dalam keadaan yang memuaskan pelanggan kita. Maksudnya kita akan memastikan terminal kita berada dalam keadaan yang bersih, selamat untuk digunakan oleh penumpang. Jadi kita nak meningkatkan imej kerajaan negeri Sarawak melalui perkhidmatan.
Meanwhile, the local traders expressed their gratitude for the Bako Terminal Boat Expansion Project. Some have described that this project provides various facilities.
Kami senang untuk memasarkan produk yang dijual di sekitar penduduk Kampung Bako tu lah. Seperti cencaluk, bubuk-bubuk, sayur-sayuran, buah-buahan, lacan, cencaluk kami tadi dan sebagainya lah. Senang kami nak mempromosikan produk tempatan.
Macam pemunggahan ikan senang, orang nelayan senang untuk singgah di pangkalan. Pasti senanglah untuk orang kampung. Semua baiklah.
An additional of 1 million ringgit of allocation had been approved by the State Agriculture Department to assist local farmers in Kakus constituency. 105 farmers and livestock breeders will be benefited from the allocation. Assistant Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Customary and Native Laws, John Sikitaya, said farmers and breeders in rural areas need to be assisted.
No, actually there's no criteria at all, because most of our farmers, especially in the rural areas, they need our help. So there's no criteria. Actually, there's no criteria for us to give them. Just that they are poor, so they need help. That's it.
John Siki said with this financial assistance, it will further expand the local farmers and livestock breeders' business and increase their income.
I'm sure this will help a lot, From one day ini boleh membantu mereka untuk menaikkan income mereka dari jualan dan sebagainya. Sebab kalau kita lihat, all this one in terms of food, makanan. Jadi seperti kita faham, kita masih import makanan, still a lot.
Each of the farmer and animal breeder will receive allocation ranging in between 3 to 200,000 depending on the type of products. Welcome back. The COVID-19 daily infections rate is still high, and this is a very worrying trend. The Sarawak State Disaster Management Committee, or SDMC, announced today that the Enhanced Movement Control Order, or EMCO, would be extended from April 13 until April 26. Sarawak recorded 211 new COVID-19 infections today. This time, Bintulu recorded the highest number at 70, followed by Cebu at 35 and Sarikei with 21. This brings the total number of COVID-19 cases to 18,707. Sarawak State Disaster Management Committee in a statement also confirmed that Sarawak recorded 1 death. This brings the total number of fatality in Sarawak at 117. The committee also said that the State Health Department has detected 2 clusters today. The clusters dubbed at Cluster Jalan Kapitan at Marudi and Cluster Disco at Saratop. Meanwhile, the committee also said that 181 patients have been recovered from the infection. Cebu Hospital recorded the highest number of discharged at 49 patients, followed by Bintulu Hospital at 27 and PKRC Serian at 19. On to the next update. A total of 6 city beautification projects are to be developed in the commission area of Kuching North City Hall, or DBKU, in line with the urbanization process of Kuching City. Assistant Minister in the Chief Minister's Department of Islamic Affairs and DBKU, Dr. Abdul Rahman Junaidi, said the projects will add beauty in DBKU's administrative area.
The 6 projects were the beautifications of protocol roads, Sarawak Botanical Garden, a walkway from Fort Margarita to Darul Hana Bridge, the upgrading of Perpaduan Park, constructions of drainage outlets at Jalan Masjid, Jalan Market and Lebo Java leading to the Sarawak River, and upgrading of Pangkalan Sapi. The beautifications of protocol roads involves the development of a new landscape, including the planting of low and medium trees. Besides that, the Sarawak Botanical Garden will plant 40 species of plants that will become an attractions for locals and foreign tourists. Moreover, Rahman Junaidi added, the connecting walkway from Fort Margarita to Darul Hana Bridge will bring more urban beauty in the city's northern area.
And Sarawak's timber industry is now facing many challenges, especially with the global economy and uncertain geopolitical landscapes. It also faces setbacks such as anti-dumping and anti-subsidies imposed by consumer countries, as well as great competition from other producing countries such as Indonesia, Vietnam and China. The government of Sarawak will continue to push the implementation of the Sarawak Timber Legality Verification System, or STLVS, and Forest Management Certification, FMC, to meet international requirements.
Deputy Chief Minister Dato' Awang Tengah Liasan said, the Surau government is now allowing third-party verification to ensure market capability and acceptance.
By 2022, all long-term forest timber licenses must have forest management certification.
Awang Tengah emphasizes the future plan of Sarawak wood industry to transform its business management for long-term sustainability is in line with the wood industry master plan. Wood industry entrepreneurs in this state cannot continue to depend on natural forests alone, but should use wood from forest plantation and be involved in downstream activities to add value to products such as furniture developing industry, furniture industry.
At the same time, they must also explore new markets beyond the existing traditional.
Under the Sarawak Economic Action Council, SEAC, the government has set an export revenue target of 8 billion ringgit for wood and wood products by 2030. Indonesia now overcomes Sarawak as the leading plywood suppliers to Japan, with the export value of Sarawak plywood to Japan decreasing from 2.11 billion ringgit in 2019 to 1.97 billion ringgit in 2020.
The same development, the Ministry of Home Affairs, KDN, has approved the state's application to reinstate the Sarawak Special Committee on Citizenship to help stateless children apply for citizenship. Minister of Welfare, Community Wellbeing, Women, Family and Childhood Development, Datuk Seri Fatimah Abdullah, said the Sarawak Special Committee on Citizenship, formed under Article 15A of the Federal Constitution from 2016 to 2019, was postponed due to the rise of the new Perikatan Nasional or PN government.
Previously, the state government applied with the Ministry of Home Affairs, KDN, to continue with the Special Committee on Citizenship. The matter is one of the pressing issues faced by Sarawakians today.
Jadi ini yang sangat penting. The longer you delay to approve or disapprove itu, the child is growing older and older by day, and the problems that the child faces is not going to be decreasing, it's going to be more and more. So the speed is of utmost importance.
Meanwhile, the committee will have its first meeting on April 20th. The ministry will ensure that the previous applications sent to KDN will be done as soon as possible. Formed in the year 2016, the committee received a total of 727 applications to obtain citizenship for children under Article 15A of the Federal Constitution.
The Ministry of Modernisation of Agriculture, Native Land and Regional Development Sarawak launched 4 Organisational Anti-Corruption Plan or OACP Book 2021 until 2025 for 4 organisations under the provision of the Ministry.
The books was launched by Minister in the Chief Minister's Department, Integrity and Ombudsman, who is also Jepa Assemblyman Datuk Talib Zulkifli on Thursday. According to Datuk Talib Zulkifli, the book aims to highlight the ministry's commitment to preventing corruptions and improving integrity among civil servants.
Saya ingin mengucapkan setinggi-tinggi penghargaan kepada Kementerian Pemodenan, Pertanian, Tanah Adat dan Pembangunan Wilayah Miri kerana telah sudi menyebut saya untuk meresmikan pelancaran buku OACP bagi 4 buah organisasi di bawah seliaan Miri, termasuk OACP Miri itu sendiri.
He added that the 4 books were consisted of the ministry and a department under its supervision, namely the Department of Veterinary Services of Sarawak and an agency, the Sarawak Land Consolidation and Rehabilitation Authority, SALCRA. At the same time, the launching of the book is in accordance with the state government's efforts towards compliance with Sarawak State Integrity Movement 2020 on the implementations of OACP by all state ministries, departments and administrations departments.
And Makkah is ready to receive pilgrims who have already received the COVID-19 vaccine in conjunction with the month of Ramadan. The matter was announced by the relevant authorities at a meeting of the Hajj Central Committee meeting. Prince Khalid Al Faisal, advisor to the custodian of 2 holy mosques, governor of Makkah region, on Wednesday. During the meeting, the Hajj and Umrah Ministry had also presented its plan for Ramadan season, which includes increasing the operational capacity of the grand mosques. Permits to perform Umrah will be granted to immunized persons who have received 2 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine. It said booking permits to perform Umrah rituals, prayers and visit available time slots as well as verification will be done through the Itmarna and Tawakalna apps. At the same time, the Grand Mosque Affair and Nabawi Mosque also presented their operational capacity during Ramadan. According to the plan, the presidency allocated 14 paths for the performance of Tawaf and allocated 3 paths closest to the Kaaba for the elderly and people with disabilities. Meanwhile, in presenting its plan and receiving Umrah performers at the King Abdul Aziz Airport, the General Authority of Civil Aviation will allocate a specialized team from all operational departments around the clock. All means of transport have been prepared and provided to serve the Umrah performers, which include the Haramain high-speed railway, and provide all the operational requirements to complete the procedures for the arrival and departure of Umrah performers. Thank you for staying with me. A total of 346,270 people have received both doses of the vaccine shots as of Wednesday, April 7, under the first phase of the National COVID-19 Immunization Program.
According to an infographic uploaded by Health Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Adham Baba on his official Twitter site today, over 546,700 people have received the first dose, bringing the total number of first and second doses of COVID-19 vaccine administered in the country now to over 890,000. The 5 states with the highest first dose administered were Selangor, with 74,659 people, followed by Sarawak, 56,500, Perak, 52,000, Sabah, 50,900, and Kuala Lumpur, with over 49,000. The 5 states that have the highest COVID-19 vaccine injections for both doses so far are Selangor with 44,700 people, followed by Sabah, 36,900, Perak, 34,200, Kuala Lumpur, 30,400, and Sarawak, 29,300. Meanwhile, the number of registrations for the National COVID-19 Immunization Program stood at almost 8,235,700 people, or 33.9%, with Selangor recording the highest number, nearing 2,225,000 registrations.
Following the next news, MIDF Amanah Investment Bank Berhad expects labour market conditions to continue improving in the coming months, forecasting an average unemployment rate of 4.3% this year versus 4.5% last year. Research note today, the investment bank said this will be supported by a better business environment as restrictions for the Movement Control Order or MCO have been gradually relaxed and more businesses being allowed to resume operations. However, it said improvement in the job market would be gradual as the pandemic is yet to be fully under control, with the number of new COVID-19 cases remaining at 4 digits. Meanwhile, it said sentiment is likely to improve as the government had pledged not to impose nationwide MCO and adopt a more targeted intervention measure going forward. A legend since the 1970s, Lee Fahmi is still relevant until today when this legendary establishment has brought new innovation in the exports of its products. Let's hear more on this journey. This legacy of this business, which first started as a family business, is now continued by Derek Chai, who left his job in China almost 20 years ago. He said taking on the research and development or R&D, it was not an easy task to produce products to expand production in the company. Derek added producing new outputs of products needs time other than placing a standard or quality of local products which abided to the standard of Serim to ensure products are high quality to meet the needs of consumers.
I think the laksa is the quite famous and quite popular food in Sarawak. So our company Lifami, we started to make this laksa bihun a few years before, and it was quite acceptable by the consumer, and the response was very good. So I think why not? We also make the laksa keropok, 2 years before. So actually I started this try this R&D, this laksa keropok quite few years already, but it wasn't work out well. So we keep trying. We kept trying this making this laksa keropok. And so 2 years before, so we keep trying to R&D every time. So finally, it came out quite crispy and quite tasty. So we start to launch this laksa keropok.
Meanwhile, for the Sarawak market, keropok laksa Sarawak now has already reached the global market, such as China and Singapore.
Now we are main focus in Sarawak. We also selling at Sabah. And the response for the laksa keropok is quite good. So some of them brought our product, laksa keropok, and they courier themselves to West Malaysia and Singapore.
And we conclude TVS Nightline with that special report segment for tonight. Here with me, Shaminato, and I'll see you next time. Have a good night.